FTA for the algorithm. It's been a
Wow.
minute.
It
Cam has first off, what did you eat today, Cam?
I
What did
haven't.
Cam eat today?
I
You haven't
haven't eaten
eaten no
anything.
food?
I was gonna stop for
Yo.
food when I was out earlier, and then I was like, "Ugh, I want to get back, and it'll be fine. I'll just get through the recording, and then I'll film it." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm hungry," but it's fine. I'll eat after.
What are you going to eat? What's the plan?
Probably get
What's
like
the
a Sammy, like a turkey Sammy or something.
I can't get with the turkey. I don't like turkey. I don't
You
know
don't
why.
like turkey?
It's pretty much chicken, but it's
Uh-huh.
just I don't know. Turkey is always dry. It's always so dry.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Dry turkey's pretty nasty. But
I feel like you gotta like lather it in mayo or something. Like you
that's
gotta
kind of what I do.
you gotta like you get a nice chicken sandwich. It's nice and juicy. Like it's
Uh-huh.
just juicy naturally. Yeah, turkey. You gotta cover that in mayo, man. Like you gotta do too much to it.
Perhaps. I don't know.
But how you been? Cam's been fighting the good fight of legal disputes.
I have, but I can't
She's
talk
got an
about
open. She's got an
Yeah,
open
we can't
case
talk.
right now.
That
We're
sounds
not
so
gonna-
bad. You're just
I'm
making
ju-
this sound so bad. What are you
I'm just
doing?
I'm just gonna leave it at that. Cam has
Yeah.
an open case, and she'll be seeing these people in court.
Any luck?
You know how Kendrick said, "Have you ever?" What was that spent on an open case? What was that? Euphoria, like that. That's Cam right now.
Yeah. That's me.
spending 100,000 on an open case, man.
You nailed that.
But what? How
Yeah.
how is Cam? What's going on with the Cam life? What are you doing, bro?
A lot of the same. I would say. This is a great podcast we got going here. But yeah, a lot of the same. What about you? What have you been up to?
I've just been. I feel like every day there's a new Kanye. Like
Yeah.
every day Kanye is a new person. Do you see? He's like I renounce my anti-Semitism.
I
That
did
was his
see
last
that.
statement.
But I was like, this is how the disorder goes, where he's gonna do this one day, he's gonna do this another, and I feel like he's being kept in a state of not ever being treated for it. So we're just
Oh,
gonna see
yeah.
this constantly for the rest of our lives.
When we were watching Arthur with Julie Klausner a couple of weeks ago, in the end, like when we were done recording, we were just like talking for like an hour or so after, and I explained Dave Blunt's to her.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I did a good thing in like, I explained Dave Blunt's to her, and I explained the whole like, cause she has like a very surface look of Kanye and like, but I explained how like Dave Blunt is writing all this new Kanye music. That like
That's
that's
what I was
why
gonna say. I'm
it
like,
sounds like that.
that's where I'm like, I've soured on Dave Blunt's a bit.
Because of this.
Yeah, I mean, the old Dave Blunts said "fuck Hitler." The new Dave Blunts says "Heil Hitler," and I was gonna say like, "Oh, I miss the old Dave Blunts." I can't
Do
really
you
say I
really?
miss the old. Yeah, not particularly.
I miss the
But-
old Dave Blunts.
Yeah, right. That's what I was gonna say. You can't bring up like someone associated and then go, "Oh, I miss the old blank."
The thing is, I don't think Dave Blunt actually agrees with any of this. I think he's
just
just
getting that
doing
bag.
this. He's just getting the bag because this is
Yeah.
putting Dave Blunt in a stratosphere that he would not get to. Like he was getting big, you know, he was getting up there. But I feel like this is like having like writing an entire Kanye album and like writing one as divisive as like I gave my cousin head, like writing something as
Yeah.
divisive as that. That's a place he would never get to. Like,
That's fair. I guess we're just operating on different like compasses here, and that's okay.
but I mean, not like I approved of anything Dave Blunt said before. He was always talking about,
Yeah.
what was it, like Caitlyn Jenner keeping it tucked, like you think I was trans.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm like the whole thing. I'm just like, I don't want to be that friend that's too woke, but I'm like, was that? I don't know. I can I can appreciate some like needlessly edgy, sort of almost campy humor, but I'm like, I don't know about all that. I think it has to come from the right place. Like,
the thing is, like, if I heard Dave Blunt's, because when I was listening to that, my nigga high, well, I can't even say it because of you. When I was listening to that, my nigga high song, like, the lyrics are so over the top, but it's because it was through Kanye saying it that it sounded weird. But, like, when you're reading these lyrics, he's like, read a chapter of Mein Kampf every night before I go to sleep. I'm like, that's such an over the top, like, bar. Where, like, I feel like if I heard Dave Blunt say that, where he was like, read Mein Kampf a chapter every night before I go to sleep, I'd be like, okay, this is clearly just a ridiculous statement. But then, when
well, right, that's the thing. It's like it's written as this like over the top, tongue in cheek thing, but then he's giving it to this mentally ill man who's like, oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. So I'm like, I don't know, I couldn't do it, but I'm coming from a different place than he is, so.
Yeah, you couldn't be the ghostwriter?
I could not be a ghostwriter for this. But that's just me.
When I was talking to Julie, we were talking about, like, if we had the chance to, like, interview Kanye, like, have Kanye on either of our platforms, like, would it be a thing that we would do? And I was like, I guess it depends on the purpose of why he's there. Like, if we were like, if we were like challenging him, I don't know.
Right, like an uncritical Joe Rogan style. Oh yeah, you know, you're right. Might not be. Yeah. The vibe, but I don't know.
I'm trying to find the lyrics to "Money How." Wait.
I always think of this one video. These two, I'm sure you've seen it, of like the girl with all the tattoos, and she's got kind of short hair and her hair is up, and she's like so proud of herself singing it. And then there's like the guy next to her, and she's making these faces at the camera. I'm like, I can't explain why this video like irks me so much. She's just like,
like, do you see all those black people standing around like Kanye's star?
I saw a little bit of that, and someone was like, this is the closest that we're gonna get today to like seeing the Manson girls.
It was so weird. The thing that bothered, I remember I got home from work, and like I got in, and Noob like ran downstairs. He was like, did you hear this Heil Hitler song? And Noob is always late. This was like when it had been out for a while. I was like, yeah, man, I heard this so long ago.
It was like, I was in a group call with some friends a couple weeks, maybe like a week or two ago, and maybe it was a couple weeks ago. It doesn't matter. Point is, one of my friends gets on and goes, did you guys hear the Pope died? And we're like, yeah.
It's like that, what was that Smosh thing where that girl discovers Harambe for the first time?
Yeah, I was just watching that the other night. Where they're joking about, he says like his, I don't remember what his team was called, but he was saying my team was called like Snow Rambe or something. And then Trevor, the other guy, is laughing, and Amanda's like, what I don't get it. What's
what's Harambe for the first time?
Like, I can't believe you don't know this. She was like, where can I, is there like a group? Is there like somewhere I can donate? Harambe should not have died. We're like, yeah. That's so silly.
Dude, that's literally Noob. That is literally Noob. Noob is not online. Like, he does not get with the memes. Like, if you just say a meme to him, and I'm barely, like, you are way more online than I am. Like, Cam is like she's in some, like, her mind, she's got the Gen Z rain brought, like, she's on there. Those
I feel
videos?
like I have it to a decent extent. I don't love Gen Alpha brain rot, but my cousin is a middle school teacher, and he'll sometimes tell me about all the crazy shit that he's hearing in his classes, and he's like, this is, I don't even know. I don't know.
That's Cam. I was like watching, like, I was going through some old footage of videos we made, and I was like, Cam is always having like some weird like interactions, like I'll be like, yeah, I had a friend and he had carrying a gun and he got arrested or something, and Cam will be like, yeah, I had a friend and he was like like it'll be some freaky like like it's like a different like I was just going through like a footage because I was like trying to find something for like to source to like send to the editor.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's where I saw that when when we were watching Sopranos and 50 Shades and he pulls the girl's panties down the elevator.
Oh yeah.
And you were just like, what if someone just said, it smells like fish in here? Like
I don't want to believe that I said that.
I'm going to find
I'm
that.
sure I believe. Like, why?
I heard it. I edited it for the first time.
Yeah.
I edited the video.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
I was going through and you were bringing up things. You would just be like, some weird stuff. Like I had a friend who was all about toes or something. Like you would have like these weird stories of, I'm like, it had me thinking, like I was going through the footage. I'm like, what type of people does Cam hang out with? I'm like,
I don't know how this happens.
Who are these people?
It's made for so many. I'm like, it's all for the plot. It's made for lots of wacky stories. And I'm like, and I don't mean to turn people into stories, but I'm like, I don't know how I encounter all these people that are so storyable. I don't know.
What was that thing when you told me what gooning meant for the first time, and you were like, it was in like I think the episode was just titled "I Heart Gooning" or something.
Yeah, I know it was a podcast episode.
And like you were telling a story of some like friend. I don't know. I think that was one of the clips I found. I was like, "What? These are some
You should
Cam
make a
friends."
You keep saying you're gonna make your freaky Cam compilation. It probably would be terrible for me, but I also would love to see it.
It could be dude, I feel like it could genuinely, because we've been doing this since what, like 2021?
Yeah, somewhere
So
around there.
There's got to be a good 15 minutes of material. There's got to be a good 15 minutes of material, bro. But I'll be like, what type of life does Cam be leading?
This seems to be a thing where I'm like, I've thought about this sometimes where I'm like, I only exist in my own life, so I don't have a baseline for like what's normal and what's typical. But like I remember my roommate, one of my roommates in college being like, "You're so busy. Like you're always doing things." And I was like, "I don't feel busy at all. I feel like I don't do enough. I feel like I need to be doing so much more." And she's like, "You're like always on the go. You're always running around. Your like keys are never on the hook." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess." And I'm like, I'm comparing it to like my like the idea that I have of like what someone should be doing. In the same way, I feel like I encounter all these like weird people, and I'm like, maybe this is just everyone just encounters all these kind of weird people, and then I just talk about it like, oh yeah, and I met this person who does this thing, and then anyone I tell to is like, wait, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, is that not like a thing? Oh, okay.
I feel like you're more accepting and charitable of other people. Like I feel like if someone did something really weird and outlandish around you like, I'd be like, yo, this guy's a weirdo. We can't rock with this person no more. Or you would be like, well, maybe in a way, like you would be like, you can't think about it that way.
Yeah. I don't want to.
What if he was just doing this?
I don't want to be too harsh of a critic. And then a little bit more time goes by, and then I'm like, that person was fucking weird. So I don't know. I'm too like charitable people.
Yeah, you're very, like, forgiving.
Yeah. It's not good.
You're very forgiving.
So strange.
Like, I was going through the footage. I really do need to, when I have some time, because I have, like, a week off, maybe I'll make the Freaky Cam compilation. I'll have to pull up the videos and have them played at, like, 5 times the speed until I hear something freaky, like like plow through the riches of that until I hear something freaky. But it wouldn't take that long. But
I could see it.
And there'll be some things where I'm like, I know I edited that to look out of context, like where like I'll edit to where it's just you saying that and there's like no context to why you're saying that, like
yeah. I'm in like a, I don't even know what I would call it. I'm stepping into a trap every time I record a video with you. It's just landmines.
It's just footage.
Yeah.
It's all footage.
It's all footage. I don't know.
Yeah, Cam is out here fighting
I'm
a
out
case.
here.
Oh yeah, Pierce the veil soon.
Pierce the veil soon.
That's a thing. That's like really soon. Like
it is. Well, oh my god, it's actually like so soon that I'm kind of like, oh shit, I have, because I don't know how much of this I fit. I'm flying to one place for an event, and then I'm flying from there to where I almost said where Awesome is.
They know I'm in Ohio. I feel like
yeah,
I
no, I almost
Ohio.
said your name though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm flying from there to Ohio, and it's gonna be a lot, and I'm gonna have a lot of stuff, and I'm making shirts, and the materials, the final materials, I have the blanks, but the other stuff that I need doesn't arrive until the day before I leave, and it's just gonna be such an ordeal. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's gonna work out. It'll be fine.
And Cam is going to a very like a formal event before that, so
right.
I feel like she's gonna have mad
clothes.
Yeah, she's gonna have like
me.
like when I pick her up from the airport, that she's gonna have mad like baggage. I feel like
I'm really nervous to bring too much, so I might have to like roll my dress up and put it in my carry-on, which is not gonna feel great. But I don't want to risk bringing it in a dress bag and then them going, "Oh, you can't have both." Which I don't know how common that is because I've never tried to bring a dress on a plane, but I was looking in some places are like, yeah, no, you can't have two carry-ons. And I'm like, I'm going with not my family. I'm going with another person's family, so I'm like, I don't want to like have problems in front of them. Mouse. Oh, Mouse has a new look.
Oh, what? Yo, he got the cone.
He's got a cone. He's so sad in his cone. I feel so bad. He tried to, I was sitting at like the table downstairs, and we have these like chairs that he can jump up and sit in. I felt so bad. He was under the table and he tried to jump onto my chair, and he like doesn't know how big his head is now. Like he can't estimate how big his head is, and so he jumped up and he like hit his cone on the table and like basically looked like he gave himself whiplash, and I felt so bad. He went like stiff and was stuck, and I was like, oh, poor baby. It's gonna be okay. I don't know.
That's Cam's child.
It's my child. I was telling my mom, this is the closest you're gonna get to a grandchild from me.
Like kids.
he runs the house when I'm like, he gets to do. I was telling someone recently, he and I were like sitting in a chair together, and I was like, all right, Mouse, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna get a glass of water and I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be back in 5 seconds, okay? And I come back and he's moved from the side of the chair to like the middle of the chair, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm sitting on the edge of the chair now. It's like, I don't want to
just lift
him, and then he won't. Well, because he's like a cat, and he's capricious, and if I try and move him, he might just not sit on the chair, and I want to sit on the chair with him. He's a little diva, and I spoil him and make him even more of a diva.
You're a cat person, man.
Are you
are you a cat person or a dog person overall? I
really could not choose. I used to be definitely, oh, don't slip. Oh my god. More of a, I would say, cat person. But I don't think I ever really preferred cats to dogs. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to get.
He's on his podcast. He's hosting.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's my turn. You want to say something? I get a lot of videos of dogs in my like Instagram feed, which is great because when I go on Instagram, I do not want to see people I know. So whenever I go on there, they're like, "Hey, look at this video of like a Staffy puppy," and I'm like, "Oh!"
For some reason, anytime I open Instagram, it's just Andrew Tate. Like, and I don't use it. Like, I literally only go on Instagram. I'm like, "What's Danny B doing?" Cam posts like once.
I'd never go on Instagram.
Like Cam posts like once every millennium. Like there's a new post there, and then I leave. And, like, it's all Andrew Tate. Like, that's all it is.
That's so, like, concerning if true, because I feel like it means it's just what it defaults to. I guess maybe you For all I know, you follow him because you did
I
find
did not.
him.
I don't follow Tate.
Okay.
I do not follow Andrew Tate. But maybe it's because we made some Tate content, so
Yeah.
it just like stuck to me. But Instagram, man, you missed the chance. It was Cam's. Oh yeah, it was Cam's birthday. Happy birthday, Cam.
Oh,
Happy
thanks.
birthday. It was like her birthday. A few like last week, earlier in the month.
It was the 15th.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cam.
There.
Because you didn't post it, nobody likes you when you're 23, Cam.
I know. I was telling him, I was like, since I was in like high school, probably, certainly when I was in college, I was like, but even less so because I wasn't posting as much. But I was like, oh, it would be so funny to have, nobody likes you when you're 23, or like, what's my age again, as an Instagram caption when I turned 23. And then by the time I turned 23, I was like, I don't use Instagram anymore. I don't have anything to post for my birthday, because on my birthday nothing had happened yet. It wasn't going to be till a couple days later, and so I was like, well, it's going to come and go and no one will know.
One of my friends, when she was turning I didn't know what age she was turning. I learned later that she was turning 22. Like, I just knew it was her birthday. And me and Noob were like, all right, we're going to get her a cake for her birthday, but we wanted it to be a surprise. And this was before, like, I don't, like we didn't just have, like, we didn't know what her date was. Like, we couldn't just pull up that information. Like, we would go on her Facebook, and it just said, like, it was, like, this birthday is this day, but it didn't say the year. So we were like, we're lost.
I see. Yeah.
So we went to, like, the bakery, and we got a cake that said, it was, like, happy 21st or 23rd birthday. Like,
and she was turning 22?
Yes.
That's really funny.
It said happy. I was like, we didn't know exactly what year it was, but here it is. And she was like, guys, I'm turning 22.
That's really funny. Happy. Oh, sorry, mouse. Oh my goodness.
But I mean, it was a great moment. Like, that was like genuine. Like, because we were trying to find, like, we were on the internet. We were asking people, because she went to college with us. So we were like, yo, how old is she? I think we know she's in between this age range. Like, because we're all in this age range right now.
Right.
Like, what is the age range? So I was like, all right, 21 or 23. We're going to get one of them right. But
yeah.
How does it feel to be out of college? It's weird, and I'm used to you being in college. Like, for as long as I've known you, you were like a school. Are you one of those people that's gonna go chase another degree? Like, are you looking at the fall coming up?
No, I thought I was. I went into college thinking I was gonna go to law school afterward, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to do law school. And then, as I was sort of wrapping up college, I was like, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna miss this once it's, like, I'm gonna miss all the, I don't know. I don't even know if I was excited to be out of it. I think I had really conflicting emotions where I just had no idea how to feel. And now that I'm out of it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so much better.
It's so much better.
It's so much better.
I can't get with school. I can't.
I've been meaning, though, there's a spot on my wall. There's like a giant blank spot, and I want to get a really huge printout of my, what's it called, diploma, and put it up there, because it reminds me of, like, Jarvis Johnson, who has a comically large computer science degree. And I think it would just be silly and a little bit campy to have a giant diploma in my room that I learned the college within my university that I'm in doesn't even put your major on your diploma. So the word linguistics is nowhere on my diploma. I was like, did I really looked at it, I was like, did I not declare a major? I was like, I applied with a linguistics major, right? And then I looked it up and they just don't put it on there.
It needs to be like movie theater size, but like...
Right, yeah.
Like, horizontal.
Because it was like
huge.
College was a lot, I'll say that. It was not all academically, but it was just like a tough time. So I'm like, well, this is my certificate of getting through that, coming out the other
I did
side.
a year, and I was like, I'm out. So
Yeah.
I was like, no more. Yeah, I can't. This is not a place for me.
Yeah.
But I like that I went there because it kind of like opened my world.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like I saw more. I was like, okay, I'm different cultures. Like we getting out of the streets with this one.
There was it reminds me of something. Have you seen that study about how like most English majors are functionally illiterate?
What like they
Like
is that a thing? That's really a thing?
functionally illiterate, yeah, where it's like you're literally literate, you're able to read, but you're not able to comprehend.
Hmm.
And you're not able to, like, they didn't understand like figurative language. I'm gonna find it.
Oh.
College English majors can't read. I just want the article.
Yeah, speaking of reading, did you finish your Goon book?
I did. I just finished my Goon book a little bit ago. I'm gonna send this
Was
to you.
was your
Feel like
Goon
reading
book
it.
good? Do you feel gooned with him?
I do. It was called A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. What I did not realize is that it's part of like an extended universe. So there's like another book, at least one other book, maybe two, that feature like some of the same characters. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. But I'm going to take a break.
Are you going to dive in?
I might dive in, but right now I'm diving into an even more ambitious book, which is Infinite Jest. And I'll see how much of that I can actually do. I was going to bring it on this trip that I'm going on, but I'm like, that's going to take up a lot of space in my bag.
Gotta get the ebook. I'm looking up Infinite Jest.
I'm going to find it. Where did I just put it? Oh, I know where it is.
Is a 1,000-page encyclopedic novel set in the near future of North America. It follows multiple characters. Oh, this is... Yo.
Yeah,
this is giving me... Oh, this is giving me big Gravity's Rainbow vibes. This is, like, just reading, like, the, Yeah.
I remember I was looking at something because I started reading it and I was like, it throws you right into a scene and it's very like loquacious. And so I was like, all right, maybe there's like a guide. I was like, I don't want like annotations or like cliff notes, but just like how to read Infinite Jest. And there's like a website that sort of gives you a bunch of clarification on things. And it reminded me of when I read Emily Dickinson in high school. There's like an Emily Dickinson dictionary that you can refer to that I had a lot of beef with it because it was a little bit different, but I was just like, there was like a paragraph for page 3 and I was like, this is gonna be a lot. But I like it so far. A Visit from the Goon Squad was good, except that it took place across like a couple decades. Like every chapter was from a different character's point of view in a different time period. And so there wasn't like, I'm not to say there wasn't a plot, but it was mostly just sort of exploring the relationships between these different characters. But the last one, I think, took place in like the near future. And everyone has
what does it start in?
It starts, I want to say in what's the first chapter? She's on a date. It starts like, I'm going to say like the present, the last chapter, I think, is like maybe 10 years after the first chapter. But then it goes back like 20 years before the first chapter. Like, it's all over the place. But in the last chapter, it's like the near future, and everyone has handsets, which are basically like phones. This was written in 2010, so I don't really know why it was like this. But whenever they talked on handsets, they talked in this like horrible leet speak that was like unreadable for me. I was like, this is so annoying that this is what the future is like. Everyone like in a professional setting is talking in leet speak from the 90s. It was odd.
That's the future, man.
I was like, sure.
What made you interested in this book? Like, what were you, when were you just out and you were like, goon, I'm getting that? Like,
no, it was in my house. I actually found it in my mom's room. She didn't know what it was, so I don't know how she got it. But then I heard some YouTuber that I follow like just mentioned it in passing, and I was like, oh, I've seen that book. And then I was like, I'm just looking for something. It's like relatively short, and I was like, I just want to start reading before bed, so that'll be my before bed book.
That's what I'd be doing before bed. How you're describing the confusion is how I feel reading, like when I'm reading, because Cormac McCarthy, he speaks Spanish. He speaks really good Spanish.
Oh.
And a lot of his books, especially there's like a trilogy of books. They aren't, I mean, they're different stories, but they're considered a trilogy because they take place in the same section of America, and they're like written back to back. It was All the Pretty Horses, The Crossing, and there was like one more. And I want to read them all, but I heard that The Crossing is like 50% in Spanish. Like it's literally just in Spanish, and there's no like translation. Like and it just and I'm used to it because that's how Cormac writes. A lot of his books have Spanish parts, but usually you can kind of pick it up by context clues. Where I'm like, if I did know Spanish, maybe I'd get more from this. But like the way the characters respond. But the way I understand, like, in The Crossing, it's just, if you don't have, like, if you're not, like, translating it, you're going to be lost in the plot. Like, you're not going to understand.
That's so funny, because the other book that I got recently was 100 Years of Solitude. And this was going to be my maybe bring on the plane book, even though it's not that much smaller. But I'd heard really good things about this for a while, and I considered getting the Spanish language version, but I was like, I don't know if my Spanish is that good, and I don't want to just be staring at the page and being like, ugh. I remember when I was in middle school, I might have been in elementary school, I wanted to read Don Quixote in Spanish, which is like, as I understand, notoriously hard for native Spanish speakers to read, but I was like, I want to do it. I'm
up for the challenge.
I have been wanting to learn more Spanish recently because I'm having like a crisis around my grasp on that language. Like I feel like I used to be a lot better at it, and now I'm so.
I saw your Spanish videos.
Yeah.
There was like a whole section in Blood Meridian where to this day I don't know what happened in that section. Is because basically the premise of that book is there's like these gang of scalp hunters. And they're like going around and they're scalping as many natives as they can get, and it's like during a time period where like it was like money for scalps, so you would like take your scalps and bring them to the government and they'd give you money. Like it was like to the point where like they had like Mexican people on their crew, and if they died they would take their scalp just because it was close enough. And it's close enough, like, but there'd be moments where there was like this moment by a fire where there was like this Mexican family, and it was like a big moment with like a lot of mysticism where like they were doing magic tricks and stuff and like telling the future and everything. And I don't know what happened in that section to this day. Maybe one day, but it was 100% in Spanish. There's also like Dutch in that book because one of the characters, the judge, can speak like every language. So there's like a bunch of different languages in that book, but
it's gonna spark another crisis.
I don't know what's happening.
When, like I think it might have even started before the pandemic, but certainly when the pandemic like was in full swing at the beginning, I had wanted to learn Korean and Dutch for like a long time, and so I was trying to learn them. And I found this notebook recently where I had all my like notes in Korean, and they're so neat and tidy, and I'm like, oh my god, like and I have like little notes in English being like, this is so messy, and I'm like, shut up. But yeah, I did not stick with either of those, and so I'm like, what kind of linguistics major am I? I just dabble in a bunch of languages, but I'm not fluent in every language in existence.
Was that in your K-pop era? Was that in your when you were like drawing K-pop stars on your
it was actually
your YouTube channel?
It was honestly probably post K-pop era. I think I wanted to learn it when I was more in it, but I was in this weird like middle zone where I was like, I don't want to be like a Korea boo. Like I don't want to be like weird about it. Cuz it wasn't like a passing interest because I really did like that stuff, but I also was like, there's a certain type of white girl who likes K-pop, and I don't want to be that person.
That's you.
And then I was like, I want to learn a language with a completely different alphabet, and the Korean alphabet is like notoriously easy to learn. And so I was like, okay, sure, I'll do that. But then the actual like word and sentence structure is really difficult. So I was like, okay, so much for that. Oh, I don't know.
I'm sticking with English. I tried other languages, didn't work out. I remember I tried to learn Japanese as a boy, because they offered Japanese classes in like elementary school, which was insane. But I mean, I feel like that's honestly the best time to like learn a new language, like when you're still
critical period.
Like, when you're still like learning the language, that like it's the best time to catch on to it. But Spanish, couldn't get with it. I sat next to this girl in Spanish class who spoke fluent Spanish. Like she was some kind of like Puerto Rican or something. I don't know. And I'd just copy off of her the entire time.
I was that for someone in high school. There was a guy who I was in Spanish with, I think for 3 years in a row, and he would copy off of my tests, and he would just become like increasingly blatant about it, where he would be like whispering to me like, wait, what did you put for that one? And then at one point like talking to me at almost full volume, and I was like, dude, stop.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah,
I wasn't that way about it. I mean, it was cool because she was one of those people who spoke Spanish, so where if the teacher, like if she slipped a bit, then the teacher was really upset. Like, you speak Spanish though, like, you know, when there'd be like the fluent speaker in class, so they're like put to a higher standard. And she was also one of those people like where, you know, they might be able to speak Spanish really well because they talk it at home, but writing it is like writing Spanish is a task in and of itself. It's kind of like how like a lot of people can speak English well, but they might fail in like an actual written English test or something.
Yeah, it could bring. I just wanna. I don't know. Maybe there's not actually that much to talk about in this college English majors can't read thing, but it did remind me, like looking at it, it's sort of, again, functional literacy just being like they were showing these college English majors like a paragraph, not even a paragraph. Sometimes it would just be like a sentence or two from a book, and they would be like, can you tell me what this says? And they would read it, and they like wouldn't be able to. There was a thing where it was like, it was something about there was like so much mud in the streets, but there was no water, as if you could imagine meeting a dinosaur. It was like it would be so wonderful to meet a megalosaurus in the street or something. And the person reading it is like, so I guess there's like, one person was like, oh, there's like dinosaur bones in the street, and they're waddling, I guess, up the street. And then another person was like, I don't know what a megalosaurus is. And there's a little part of me that's like, can we use morphemes here? Can we look at saurus and maybe, but I don't want to be, I don't know. But I was listening to someone talk about it, and they were like, it's not a matter of like concrete, immutable intelligence. It's just like a lack of curiosity. Because they said the people that did well, they had access to a dictionary and like reference materials and their phone. And so they were like, the people who did well didn't necessarily know all of the words and all of the references in the passage, but they correctly were able to look up a word and then like place it back into the sentence and be like, okay, this is what it means. But it was like 5% of the students that they interviewed were able to do that. And then it did, I'm rambling a lot, but it just reminded me of this one girl that I knew in college who was an English major who, I didn't really talk to her about work like early on, but by like junior and senior year, she was using ChatGPT for everything. She was like,
oh yeah, ChatGPT was a thing for you.
It wasn't until later in college. But by like particularly senior year, she was just like, yeah, I completely like write my essays with ChatGPT. And I was like, you're an English major. Why'd you major in English if you don't want to like read your books and write your papers? I don't know. I don't get it.
I definitely would be using ChatGPT for everything. Can you type math equations to the ChatGPT and it solves them and shows you the work and everything?
You can, but it does it wrong a lot, which is weird to me. I don't really understand why. I don't know how this stuff works enough to not understand why you could have like an AI like machine learning with large language model, but then also be like, okay, when they put in math problems, use a calculator. Because you can go to like Symbolab. Symbolab is a calculator website. Tips for, I don't know, maybe like one person watching this. But Symbolab, you can put in a big equation and it'll give it to you step by step on how to do it. And I'm like, why can't they just take like whatever code they use to do that and just sort of put it into this like large language model? But this is going to make me sound really like not knowledgeable at all, because you're going to be like, no, those are two completely different things. Like you can't just combine them into one thing. I don't know, man. Isn't AI supposed to be like the super duper mega everything? Aren't we all going to get tortured by Roku's basilisk because we didn't contribute to the production of AGI?
I use ChatGPT just to bother Noob because he's like an artist, so he'll like draw a picture and put it on his like secret art Twitter, and then I'll download that picture and put it into ChatGPT and be like, recreate this, and then I'll just send it to him just to bother him. I save it. I'm like, make it better, and then I send it back to him.
There's so much humanity that is being like, not to be that person, because I'm like, maybe there's like there are good uses for AI, but like there's so much humanity being robbed, where like you see. Is this knocking on my door or someone else's?
I feel like ChatGPT is there's some instances where AI could be useful, but the way they're using it is, I don't know.
I can't stand. I feel like I've gotten good at recognizing the way that like the ChatGPT writing style, and it's in the replies to like every tweet.
Every tweet.
It's someone like summarizing it, and it's always, this isn't blank M dash, it's blank. Mic drop. And I'm like, God, this is so... They're literally just, like, directly restating what the tweet said, but they're trying to make it a little more punchy. And then there are all these replies being like, wow, so smart, so well said. And I'm like, I hope these are also bots, because if these are real people who can't recognize that, like, this is... I don't know.
I'm on ChatGPT right now. Tell me a Jake and Amir style joke about... What type of joke do you want to hear?
I don't know.
A Jake and Amir style joke about Kanye West.
This is disaster.
Okay, this is long.
Yeah, it's probably it's gonna give you a whole script.
Yes.
Should we read the script?
Wait, let me see. Should I send this to you?
Or you could like screen. Yeah, you could send it to me, or you could screen share. However.
Well, I think that's going to be too much. That's editing. I don't want... Wait, let me just send it to you on Discord.
Okay. Oh, this is like... I don't know. Alright. Okay, are you Jake or Amir?
Let me see. What flavor? I'll be... Here, you be Amir, I'll be Jake.
Okay. Okay.
In office. Jake typing. Amir burst in, wild-eyed.
Jake, I just ran into Kanye West in the elevator.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I told him I was the voice of a generation.
That's what he calls himself.
Not anymore. He handed me his Yeezys, whispered, I'm free now, and moonwalked into the ventilation shaft.
Kanye West moonwalked into a vent?
So bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah, and then Kid Cudi popped out of the ceiling tile and gave me a juice box.
What flavor?
Existential raspberry.
What does that even mean?
It tasted like my parents' divorce, but like in a funky way.
You need help.
Kanye's shoes don't fit, Jake. They don't fit, and now I can hear colors.
I'm calling HR.
HR already owes me 17 million in Yee coin.
That's not real.
Then how come I bought Twitter?
You what?
Follow me at Lil Yeezy Sleazy.
I'm unfollowing you in real life.
End scene.
That was...
You know, AI,
you see
it's
that?
coming for our jobs.
Couldn't
All
you
you
see
writers
that
are
in
going to be out of
person?
business. Oh my god.
Now when I upload this video and I say, you know how it'll be like, is there any element of AI in the video? Like,
Oh.
you know, you have to like check that. I'm gonna have to be like, yes.
I wonder if you just are reading like an AI generated script. I have to think. I don't know.
That was so bad.
That was remarkably bad.
What was the joke?
And I gotta say, I'm having this sort of like looking at a car crash where I'm like, I don't wanna waste any more resources like AI generating complete slop. But man, that was so bad, and I sort of want to see more of it.
I feel like we've been at this. We got to do what's another one?
We'll do one more. We can't poison any more of the water supply.
A Jake and Amir style joke about what's one more?
I would say have it choose. I mean, like something funny.
I don't think it'll let me do that. I've tried that before. If it's anything, if you mention something like the Jews, or I don't know.
What? Oh, I didn't say Jew. I said you choose.
Oh, I thought you said the Jews.
No, I don't want to write a script about the Jews.
That's what I heard. Write a Jake and Amir style joke about
something of your
let's go Elon
Sopranos.
Musk.
Or
Elon Musk. Trying Elon Musk. Pop culture.
Like 2025
and
specifically. Well,
The Sopranos.
And The Sopranos. That's a lot.
Okay. Okay. Oh, this is so
I can
bad.
see it from a mile away. Look how she walks. She like Drake started from the bottom, gave me top. All right, I'm ready.
This is so bad.
This is gonna be. It's gonna be great.
Let me send this to you. And then, wait. Where's my Discord? Okay. I have so many
AI generated Jake. Well, oh, it's horrible. It's so horrible. To even, I was like, oh, that'd be a funny title, but I hate even the concept of it. Oh, what is this? Okay.
Okay. Let's,
right.
Office. Jake is scrolling on his laptop. Amir stomps in wearing a tracksuit and chomping on a cigar.
Hey, Jakey boy. Just closed a huge deal with Elon Musk.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I sold him HBO.
You don't own HBO.
I do now. Elon paid me in Dogecoin and an NFT of Tony Soprano eating gabagool in the metaverse.
That's not a thing.
It is now. It's called the Soprano OS. It's a Soprano-themed operating system that only runs on Teslas.
That makes zero sense.
Every time you boot it up, it plays the theme song, and then the screen just goes black, and you wonder if you died or not.
That's the finale, Amir.
Spoilers, Jake. For that, you get whacked. Pulls out a meatball
sub and smacks Jake with it. What's wrong with you?
I'm in witness protection, Jake.
Leans
in. I didn't realize you stole my line. Elon saw me tweet Tony Soprano could beat Batman in a fist fight, and now I'm a target.
Of who?
Joe Rogan. He's in too deep, Jake. He knows things.
I'm blocking you on every platform.
Even MySpace?
Especially MySpace.
Tony would never do this to me.
NC.
What are we
It's so
here?
bad.
What are we doing here?
I could do this for hours. And now
My life just flashed before my eyes.
It's so bad. If I wait, let me see. Does AI know about you? Tell me about Cameron Baba.
There's no way.
Let's see.
You've apparently put pictures of me in there, so I guess it has that. OpenAI has, not that there's any shortage of pictures of me on the internet, but
Yo.
Oh God.
The picture it's using is not accurate. Okay. But okay.
Oh no.
Cameron Baba is a multifaceted creator storyteller known for her engaging work across video, design, writing, and digital media. With a background in linguistics from the university. Do you want me to
wait?
It's saying. I'm just gonna cut that.
Yeah. Okay.
She combines analytical insight with creative flair to produce content that is both thoughtful and entertaining. Cameron has been producing YouTube videos for over a decade, focusing on topics that challenge conventional thinking and spark curiosity. Her videos often delve into debunking myths and exploring complex subjects with clarity and wit.
Oh my God,
works
this freaked me out so much, but I just realized what it is. Okay, go on.
Notable works include Wake Up Sheeple, a breakdown of pervasive myths in economics, politics, and progress. Nazis were buffoons. Here's why. An examination of the mismanagement within the Third Reich. Tariffs, not good for the economy. A data-driven analysis of economic policies. Chemicals are friends, not food, but they're also food. A nuanced look at food additives and public perception.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yo,
well,
this is long.
Because it's just summarizing my whole website. That's what's happening here.
That's all.
It took me until here that I was like, oh wait, oh shit, yes, I have a website. Okay. I was like, how the fuck does it know all that? I was like, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Wait, it's leading me to a Pinterest.
It links you to my Pinterest?
Is this your Pinterest?
I have Pinterest. I haven't used it in a long time.
Let me see what's on here. Clothes I need. Guess who made her health board public? Let me see if I can recognize this as you. Tumblr. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if this is you, but
it very well could be, but I'll leave that one to the imagination. Oh my God, that freaked me out so much for a second. And then I was like, oh right, I said all of that.
That was all you. But yeah, all right.
Great. On that note,
Cameron, KILLA Cam, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
We in here. AI won today. AI won today.
I'm gonna be tortured by Roku's basilisk. Alright.
Makes the whites happy, makes the blacks upset. Cam is very talented.
That's right.
Cam is gifted. Cam is good. We in here. We got
You've been puffing a lot, but a guy's gotta know you gonna suck it or not. Look at that trim, how it's quite grim. Fat back, big cup. I noticed the nice handle.